Going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Not sure. Just let me know if you guys can see my screen and hear me. Yay, nay, maybe. Go with this every day. Hello. Are we not live? Alright, what's going on, boys? How you guys doing? What's up, Vladdy? What's up, Carson? Hey, Ricky. Get a picture on your YouTube, Ricky. What are you doing? What's up, BV7? Gerv's here. What's up, boys? So we'll just get it started. It's Friday. I know you guys want to go party and shit. So I'm just going to get it started real quick. We got SPY, same channel we were watching all week, or we've been watching it for weeks now. Same upline. See how we broke through it. Not too much volume today, which is expected because all the hedge funds away. I told you guys this morning all the big boys are probably gone to the Hamptons already, so it's just a retail. You can even adjust this line, actually. This line looks a little bit, yeah. Let's see. Just play with it. I mean, it looks like we broke out regardless. Close at the high of the day. Everything looks good. Intraday, just a pure ripper all day. SPY's just been on a mission. Look at this 15-minute chart. Just straight up, grind up. Barely any pullbacks, barely anything. At the end of the day, big volume came in, big buying volume. So we're just going to keep it going here. SPY, everything looks great. There's no reason to be bearish here. I mean, if you're worried that the market is extended, which it is, and a pullback is coming, which it will, but no one knows when, right? So just play the trend. The trend is your friend. If you're worried about it being too high right here, go cash. Don't go short. Start raising more cash like I told you guys. But until the trend changes, there's no reason to be short here. So just keep on playing long. I mean, keep a little more cash than usual, but keep playing along. QQQ's big ripper today. We've seen how Amazon, Apple, all the money started shifting into big tech. It was called out in our group right away. QQQ straight up. Obviously, Amazon, Apple, FAANG, Microsoft, Facebook, all of them, they take up a huge part in SPY and QQQ. So them going up alone is enough to move the whole index up. I think they take up like 20% of the fund or something, or even more. I could be wrong. QQQ closed, high of the day, closed all-time highs ever. Obviously, we've been running up a long time. There is a correction coming. No one knows when, so I will wait. I will probably take some fat hedges next week, later in the week. But for right now, everything's long, everything's cool. XLF, again, closed almost right where we opened. No, nothing really to see here. A little bit of volatility, no big deal. I think XLF could be big soon just because all those banks, all the banks did big buybacks and big dividend hikes and everything. But for right now, the only thing you have to watch on XLF, which I've been saying for the last few days, is the 50-day moving average. 50-day moving average is at 37.08. Until we close above 37.08, there's no reason to be long XLF here. Right now, it had a big dump here. You've seen big volume, everything. But if the news of huge dividend increases and huge share buybacks doesn't get us through the 50-day, what kind of news is going to get us over the 50-day? You just have to think like that. So wait till it closes above the 50-day moving average, which is at 37.08 right now. And after that, the only resistance is the all-time high. So XLF is in a void for me right now. SC was disappointing today. That's why I told you guys I moved my stop loss up on most of my equity. I have 90% equity to sell under this candle right here. I have my stop loss at 269.69 just because I like that number. But also, yesterday's low was 269.77. So you want to put it a little bit below, and you always want to put your stop losses below whole numbers. Okay? So SE, even though I love the company, I love everything, I will get back into it. I will still hold like 10% of my position, but I will sell most of it under 269.69. I'll get stopped out by myself. The tell for me that SE was weak today was just because even when the dollar was falling, SE didn't move that much. We've been watching the inverse relationship for so many weeks now. And look at this. When the dollar was falling, let's see. Dollar started falling at 12.55 on here. At 12.55, what was SE doing? SE barely got a pop. Look at this tiny little pop it got off the dollar weakness. Then right back down, then just sideways the rest of the day. Big bear volume. It's come off a huge run. I mean, a stock that just came from $200 flat all the way to $297. It ran $97.75. So it needs a break, you know, it needs a breather. This is a daily. The weekly right here, same thing. Like, I mean, it's just a massive run from 200 straight to almost 300. So now it might need some weekly consolidation. We'll see if it can hold the 8-day moving average on the weekly consolidation. That's at 266.78. But other than that, I will get back in. I think I'll get it back much cheaper than it is right now. So that's my reasoning behind that. Dollar, I told you guys yesterday, I went over the post market. I went on the dollar. I told you sometimes it curls like this. After a huge play, bull flag, breakout, sometimes it goes back to the previous resistance and breaks straight out. Sometimes it forms a little handle here of consolidation before taking out that level. So we got the follow through last night through the resistance and yesterday. That's why yesterday's stocks were so weak, in my opinion. But today it came right back down. And I told you guys it was overbought on the RSI. Every time it's overbought, it pulls back. You see overbought here, pull back. Go back in history. Overbought here, look at the decline after it was overbought. Right here, overbought. Look at the decline. You see this? This is the RSI I'm talking about. As soon as it gets to the upper range there, it always tends to pull back. So just know the patterns, know what stocks you're playing, know what they do in the past. Look at this. Almost touched the top, fat pullback. Look at this. Touch the top, fat pullback. So every single time, there's no time that it's gone like overbought a lot. I know a lot of stocks can do that, but DXY doesn't usually do that. So that's why I played that. And then the absolute play of the day called by Ricky. So we've been going over Amazon in pre and post market every single day for over a month now. What have I been saying? I've been saying watch this monthly chart because last time we took out a bull flag like this, we ran 1,000. We almost doubled the stock. So we went straight from like 1,700-ish, or when we broke it, what did we break it at? Yeah, when we broke the resistance last time, it was at 1,900. It went all the way up to 3,500. So that's almost a double, right? So this time it's setting up in the same kind of way here. That's why Ricky took so many layers of Amazon. You can draw it like that. You can draw it like this. If you draw it like this, it means it hasn't even broke out yet. But it's very close. So the all-time high is the only resistance left on Amazon is at 3,552.25 cents. So when we break through that, I'm expecting another 1,000 point move. It might go to 4,500. Okay, and then that's all you need to watch on Amazon. Today he called out lottos 34.75. As soon as he called out a lotto on a Friday, I knew right away, just hop in. I just blindly went in. I got a cheaper fill than him, but then they auto-executed my shares earlier than his. And look at this. Look at the run that we had today. This was where he called Amazon right here. He called 34.75s when it was only at 34.40s, I believe. I think he called it out right here at like around 11:30, 11:15, and look what happened after. So if Ricky's calling out lottos on a Friday, just know it means something, and you probably want to take that trade. Rig, let's go to Rig. Rig looks great. Amazon, like I said, we're expecting a 1,000 point move. If we break over that all-time high, 35.52, I expect a 1,000 point move. And I'm sure Ricky does too. He's loaded in Amazon. Got Rig here. Rig, I told you, was all about 481. Had that beautiful cup and handle. We still got my drawing on there. Cup, handle, and breakout. It's just a technically beautiful chart. Plus, oil is very, very strong right now. Energy names are going. Today we closed above 481 for the first time in so long. If you zoom out on the chart, there's a lot of upside left. The next level here is $7.20. And with all the insider buying and everything, I believe that rig will be bought out before our contracts expire in August. Let's see what happens. Right now, it looks super solid, though. Look at the buying volume in the last 2 weeks. That's what you want to see when it takes out resistance. On the daily, again, we closed above 481. That's all that mattered. Next stop is $7, in my opinion. So much insider buying, so much good news. Energy is strong. There's like air pocket here. There's not much resistance until $8 actually, but there is a resistance at $7.20 before we get there. So let's see how far rig can take us. Still holding all the August. I sold my Julys like I said in the group. AESC was a news play. I called it out in April. They have a market cap of 108 million, or no, they had a market cap in April of like $88 million, and they were selling one of their parts of their business called the World Pork Tour, which is WPT. They were selling that one for 105 million. So if their market cap is only 88 million and they're selling a business for 105 million, that means the stock goes up. So we called it out back in April. I called out the whole scenario. Yesterday, finally, their deal went through. It had a big pop after hours, sold off a little bit today. I'm still holding. The reason I'm still holding, I didn't even sell any up here. The reason I'm still holding is because the company hasn't released the news yet. So when the company gets the cash from the deal, I believe that's when they'll announce the news. But until then, I will be holding. Sava, I called out today. I heard a rumor that they're going to announce some good news this weekend. So I jumped in the $100 calls for July 16th, I believe. Yeah, I called in that. And another reason is it's this pattern. It's the same pattern. Stock makes an all-time high, has a huge run, makes all-time high, consolidates, cups, and we'll see if it can take out this level now. So this level is a big level now. Right here. So we took it out this morning, but we rejected off it hard. 92.50 is the next resistance on this. It's the same play as DXY. Look at this. You see how it went on a huge run, formed that cup. Sometimes it goes right through the resistance. Sometimes it handles and then goes through the resistance. That's why it's another good thing we got July 16th. So we got 2 weeks now. So it's going through. Let's see if it goes right through. If it gets news this weekend, it's going to rip right through and it's going to rip. But if it doesn't get news, it will consolidate most likely, let the moving averages catch up, and then it'll rip through the resistance. But that's all I have for Sava. I told you it was a risky play. It's based on news. NEO looked decent today. I mean, the daily candle looks great. Looks like a hammer candle formed off that 8-day moving average. That's all we needed was a close above the 8-day moving average. Obviously, those lottos didn't pay too well for me. I only sold a quarter when they were a double. I should have sold half like I usually do. But I had Amazon profits to play with, so I was feeling lucky. NEO, huge dump this morning. Got oversold, got a little bounce, got oversold again, had a huge bounce, and then we were kind of grinding up. It just looks like we ran out of time on this one. Because it does look like it was rounding up at the end of the day there for a while. And we just didn't have enough time here. So NEO, the only thing to watch for in NEO right now is there's not even really a setup here. I mean, it consolidated today, but I don't like the size of the selling volume today. That's why I don't really see a setup on it. I won't be getting into it anytime soon just because still needs some time to set up, I think. You've seen how I play NEO. It's always through wedges. When you play it through a wedge, it's almost always works. Like even like right here, I'll show you this. I played NEO like 6 times during this run up. All you have to do is like play it through the resistance. So through that resistance you buy, it grinds up. Through this resistance you buy, it grinds up. Through this resistance you buy, it grinds up. So you just need to wait for a setup on NEO. You see how it's just setting up right here. Set up again. Right here, set up again. Well, that line's off, but you guys know what I mean. Let's get off drawing mode. And then, yeah, so just wait for it to consolidate a little bit. I mean, there's not enough consolidation here for me yet to jump in. You've seen, like, right here, look at this. 2-day bull flag, up. 2-day bull flag, up. 2-day bull flag, up. Or this is a 3-day bull flag, up. This is like a 6-day bull flag, up. So you just need a couple days consolidation, and then let's see if we get a clear level to buy through. And that's what we'll do. A doji on what, Carson? On NEO? That's not a doji, that's a hammer candle. When they buy the lower, when there's a huge lower wick, that means people are buying the dip, which is a hammer candle. It's very bullish. Like T's CD that he called out today. The reason he took the trade is because of this hammer candle. Or that's what he said, yeah. I think that's what he said. And plus it's off support. You see this beautiful support forming? Look at how it reacted off the support. Just huge dip buyers here. So right now on CD, I'll go over it even though it's not my play, it's T's play. It's pretty clear. You can go up to about 15, 20, above $15 as a sell point for me here. Personally, I'd sell most of it at that resistance. If it takes out the resistance, then you'll still have that other half. If it doesn't, then you already got rid of half of it. On Sava. That is kind of a doji candle, but again, I like this pattern. When it goes on a huge run and then it consolidates for like a week or so and makes its way back up, it'll either handle here and go, or the news will come out and it'll blast off. And the whole play was based off that news. CMLF, just a big nothing burger today, no big deal. We are holding above 1368, which is the only thing that matters now. The previous resistance at 1368. Did we hold above it? Yeah, we closed at 1370, so we keep continuously closing above 1368. which is the only, oh no, 1468 was the last. 1330s was the last resistance. We keep closing above it. 1468 is the next level. As soon as we take out 1468, it can go straight to 17. Yeah, so CMLF still looks good. We sold a bunch yesterday, made a ton of money. I'm happy with the trade already. It's already free for me. And another thing is, look at the bull volume that comes on up days and look at the bear volume that comes on low days. Like, there's not that many people selling this. It's just not enough buyers to rip it higher today. No big deal. We'll see what happens next week. We do have, I think, 2 more weeks. Yeah, we have July 16th on these ones. So the rest of the contracts we should be able to get rid of for a good price. Neg, again, just consolidation. I mean, when a stock has a 69 or 70, when a stock has a 79% day, it needs a couple days of consolidation. And this one's acting like really good for something that went up 79% 2 days ago. Today we had a big pop to sell into. We did sell a few in there. Right here, I think I sold for like 200 something, 260% or something. Don't remember. Yeah, so we had that huge pop and then just consolidation. You guys see the RSI just keeps getting overbought. It just needs to cool off. Like, there's nothing wrong with this chart at all. It's just a little hot right now just because it's popped so much. You see the hourly is cooling off the RSI while it's going sideways. Big pop and then just cooling off. Right now it closed above the 8-day on the 1 hour. Obviously it closed above all the moving averages on the daily because it's way up there. So next week, let's see if we can get that squeeze. They already added more options, which is not the best thing in my opinion. If they still didn't add the options, I would have been a lot more bullish on it. But they did, so I've been piecing out a little by little. Still have a little bit left, and I will continue to hold into next week. Obviously, I can't sell right now. Tesla is actually setting up beautifully on the longer term time frames. I know a bunch of you guys just watch 5-minute charts and 1-minute charts. Yeah, let me call you back. Yeah, so Tesla is setting up here with a beautiful bull flag. You see that? Yes, I don't know, yesterday or no, this morning we broke out in a big way. We pulled back right back into the wedge. So the beautiful wedge here forming. We're above all the moving averages. Everything looks good on the bigger time frame. We might be set for another big move up on Tesla. Let's see what happens next week. We are sitting right at this big volume supply spot too. So if it breaks down under here, there's thin air. It could break down hard, but if we break out above here, there's a lot of room to run as well. So Tesla is just all about next week. It just keeps getting tighter and tighter. Looks way better on the 4 hour and the 1 hour. Like you can see, it's very, very tight here. We'll see what kind of flow comes in next week. I guess the market wasn't too impressed with Tesla's delivery numbers today. I mean, they were right on estimate. We closed up 0.14%, so obviously it wasn't crazy. Hertz stock, if I knew what happened, I would tell you. But Hertz was insane. I never expected a gain like that. They declared bankruptcy and restructured a bunch of financial stuff. I'm sure Goldman Sachs could tell you much better than me, but what they did was, every time you declare bankruptcy, it doesn't mean that you're bankrupt. It's a different way of paying off your debts. It's actually really smart. Like, 50 Cent declared bankruptcy so many times, he ended up with more money than he got. So just in 50 Cent's case, I'll give you an example. What happened was, he had to pay a bunch of money to someone, and instead of paying them directly, he told the government he didn't have the money right now liquid. He had it all in investments. So the government paid for him, and then he just has to pay the government in increments or something like that. So he just ended up net positive on the whole thing because he didn't have to pay any interest to the government or nothing. So it's something like that. The same thing Hertz did with their company. They just restructured their payments, so it made them a much more profitable company, which equaled a huge gap up today. 250% on equity in 3 weeks is insane. Space, let's move on to space. It's Friday, guys. Come on, stop asking me questions. Space, huge gap up today again on that Russell Brunson news. Gave it all back. Ended up only up 4%. 43 is the must-hold level for space. If it takes out 43, it could fill the gap down to 41. And I don't know what more of a catalyst they can give. I think the only catalyst left is a successful flight on July 18th, I believe he's going. So they need a successful flight. I'm not planning on holding until then. I still have my vertical calls. I sold my 45s today for a good profit. Last week, you guys seen we banked on those ones. And yeah, just 43 hold. Next level up is 62.80, which is all-time highs, I believe. Yeah, 62.80, all-time highs. and 43 on the way down. So it's a huge range right now. It's a very tough to trade space right now. Not too much good news that can come out after that until the flight is successful and they say they can take people out. Plug, I was supposed to cut it at the end of the day if it didn't close above 43, but I was getting ready for, yeah, ticket booking, obviously. It has to be a successful flight on July 18th. There's still like 3 weeks until July 18th, so I don't know if you want to hold it that long. There's a huge range to play. It could chop up a bunch of stuff. Plug, I was supposed to cut it today if it broke through, if it didn't close above 33, but I forgot because I was getting the YouTube thing ready for you guys. So I left it on. I still have July 9th $35 calls. Let's see if we can get a gap up. I mean, chart doesn't look good at all. We broke down out of the bull flag. By the way, the bull flag is this thing right here. So I wanted it to break up. Obviously, we broke down. And it's just been lower highs, lower lows the whole way down. So right now the hourly trend is changing. We need to change that back in our favor. We changed the hourly trend back in our favor by getting 33.63, which would put in a higher low, then put in a high, or that would put in a higher high off this one right here. 33.63, we need a higher close than that on the hourly, and then a higher low, and then another higher high, and then another higher low, and that would change the 4 hour back in our favor. And then we need to change the daily back in our favor. And obviously, short week next week. I'm not too bullish. Let's see what happens. I had Riot. Where did Riot go? Let's do Riot too. Riot, obviously, I told you guys I expect a bounce in Bitcoin soon. Just to get out the rest of the shorts. I know a lot of people on FinTwit and all over the news channels are very bearish on Bitcoin right now. So when you see a lot of people bearish or bullish, I tend to go the other way. That's just called like sentiment trading kind of thing. So right now, I do expect Bitcoin to go lower this year, but temporary and short term, I expect it to go a little bit higher just to squeeze out the rest of the shorts that are in here. Because people are saying it's going to go right through 30 and it's going to go right to $10,000. I doubt nothing goes straight up or straight down in a line. Obviously, Bitcoin did right here, but that's when no one expected it to, right? Right now, everyone is expecting it to, which is why I went on the opposite side of the trade by taking Riot calls. Also, there was huge flow in Riot yesterday. I seen like $500,000, $600,000 go into Riot calls for August. So I followed the flow. Let's see if we get that bounce over the weekend on Bitcoin like I expect. There's a huge supply zone here between 35.80 and 36.30. So these two white lines are huge support. We need to hold these. Why is it huge support? Just because, look at this. If you zoom out, previous support was right here, support right here, support right here. And then when we finally broke through, we dumped, right? And then it formed into a resistance. So it formed into a resistance here, formed into a resistance here, and then we just gapped over it. And now we came back down to test it. So let's see if it holds that support and rips higher. That's basically my play on Riot. There's nothing else about it. It was mostly flow. CRM, I called this one out July 16th. Everything looks good to me. Like I said yesterday, this was the news last August. This was their earnings where they bought Work or Slack. The ticker used to be WORK. Company's name is Slack. People thought they overpaid for it, so we went on a dump off, formed this beautiful down channel right here, descending channel. Finally broke out of it a little while ago, gapped up, and now this is the ranges we're watching. Why is this the range we're watching? 46 used to be resistance over here. And also the hourly, after a big move, the hourly was consolidating beautifully. So I showed you guys this. CRM and BABA were exactly the same chart. Let's just do BABA to... Let me show you the difference that I seen. So we had hourly consolidation on BABA and CRM, right? So look at this. We had a clear top, clear bottom. We were just going sideways, right? Chop, 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 chop. The difference was, see, clear top, clear bottom, chop, 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 chop. BABA broke out to the downside. Right? Downside, bear flag, downside, bear flag, maybe more downside on BABA. But for CRM, we actually started setting higher lows, exactly where BABA started dumping. So where BABA dumped, CRM set a higher low. Right? This one is, what is this one? 242.63, 242.50. Yeah, so right here is 242.50 low. Right here is 242.63 low. So we're setting higher lows. And then today we just went and smashed through that resistance. So now we're above that resistance. We're holding above it. Everything looks good. Let's get rid of all the lines. And just, look at this clear. This is a weekly chart as well. Very clear breakout. Very clear continuation. I mean, the volume was low in every single stock this week, which is kind of worrying. But that's usually what happens at the end of a cycle, right before a correction. Volume dumps off because the big boys take their monies and they put them into bonds instead of equities. But no one can time the market. Let's see. But yeah, I got a haircut to go to. Thank you guys for attending. I will have a very good weekend. Be safe. Don't drink too much. Do some healthy stuff. And I will see you guys Tuesday.